Welcome to Off the Record with LegALLY. Today we have two guests, Derrick Deschler and Christy. Redo. Derrick and Christy, previous clients of mine for custody. Derrick is the father of a beautiful young little girl, and I got involved in the case pretty late, not super late, but pretty late after some medical concerns and some neglect by mother, and sort of took a spin. But Derrick is, I would say, a small percentage of fathers that we see that is very actively involved in a primary parent, and his soon-to-be wife, congratulations to them, they're getting married shortly, and I have the pleasure of going to their wedding.
Which should
Is
be interesting.
a pretty cool stepmom. So I just wanted to share their experience and what that looks like. Because, so many times in court and in life and in TikTok and YouTube, we always hear about mom, and dads are bad, and sue your baby daddy and screw the dads. And, so often in my office, we see equal of that. But, the world doesn't shed light on fathers. So I just wanted to share that. So, Derrick, let's start by giving them a history of sort of how your case evolved and landed in my lap, a brief history. We don't have to go in extreme details.
So pretty much me and my daughter's mom were together for, since 2016, I believe. We got married. Brielle was already in the picture in 2017, is when she was born. And then we got married, we split. It was a big mess. That all got handled. That got real messy with child support and custody and everything else. And then I would try and see my daughter, and it was no, because you work night shift and you do this and you do that. And I got tired of it. When I would have her, she had a pretty severe skin condition. And at the time, it wasn't being handled properly or the way it should have been. And there were multiple calls to CPS, and there was investigations, and nothing was handled. It was more of like I could rattle off the medications and they'll leave you alone. Not that anything was really thoroughly investigated. It was just we're going to check in real quick and then we're out. Have a nice life.
What was your custody schedule at that time?
At that time, there wasn't one set. We did work out a little while later that I would get Wednesday mornings after I got out of work. She'd go back every night, and I'd have her Thursday during the day, Friday during the day. I would just have her for the days. And then she enrolled my daughter in preschool without telling me on my days to have her. And I was like, all right, enough's enough. Now I really can't see my kid because she's in preschool. So I literally found you on Google and put in the inquiry. We started talking. And it just kind of ran from there, and now everything worked out for the benefit, and she's in a much better spot, and so far, so we'll see how everything goes.
So now, you were basically at mom's discretion. After separation, which we see all the time, right? Because there's no order and you separate and emotions are high and it becomes a free-for-all, what I call free-for-all. And then, you've got school, right? Eventually the child has to go to school, preschool, and then obviously kindergarten, first grade. And so you have to enroll the kid in a district where the school code says we're primary parent or 50-50, right? If you have 50-50, you could pick either. But if not, it's where the primary parent, right? So we run into a lot of those issues. And then, you have this sort of not unique case, but a little unique in the sense that your child had some medical issues that, you felt weren't being handled properly. And obviously, by documented evidence, they were not, for my opinion. what happened was basically that mother, and again, I don't want to speculate on her too much. I try to keep my mouth shut, but her mental health or her purposeful not caring or whatever words you want to use. But it ends up that we are slated for trial because mom wouldn't agree to give you primary custody. And on the day of trial, we end up settling for you to have primary custody and for her to have every other weekend. But it was a sort of a bigger issue because you're not in the same school district also. And mother was living in an inappropriate, in my opinion, housing, which was sort of a trailer. But the problem with the court system in this aspect, which people should be aware of, is when there's no court order and you have to go through the steps of the mediator and then the judge, is if you don't agree until a judge puts, the pen on paper or slams the gavel down with an order, it is a free-for-all.
Yeah.
And mom can say, no, you're not seeing the kid, or you could say, no, you're not seeing the kid, or, I picked her up school from early, or, I unilaterally scheduled this doctor's appointment, or, she needs this medicine, or no, she doesn't, or, and it becomes sort of a disaster. And a lot of people don't understand that from my perspective. Like, I can put in the complaint, as we did for you, and go to mediation and go to trial, but I'm not the judge, right? Like, I can't say, Derrick, you just keep your kid or don't give her the meds, or I've got no control over that.
Yeah.
It's so rare, or the world thinks it's rare. Let's do that. The world thinks it's rare for fathers to have primary custody. I mean, you guys are obviously on social media. Obviously, we're friends. You're my clients. But, I mean, how many – you probably have more male friends than I do just by virtue of your gender. But how many dads do you know have primary custody? I don't know. I mean –
primary custody, none.
None.
I'm the only one that has primary. Out of my friends that are separated from their female partners at that time, or, they're going through a divorce, it's either 50-50 or they're still going through the court proceedings to handle all of it. I have a friend that's in a real bad spot. He's actually one of your clients. I think that whole thing is a mess and another failure of the system. But that's neither here nor there. For me personally, as a dad, it was extremely disheartening how I was talked to and how I was treated and projected by our master. Like, you were there, your associate, Zane, she was there for one of them. Like, this master was trying to do everything in her power to prove I was overdosing my daughter on her allergy medications. And she had me literally call the allergist's office in the middle of the hearing to make sure the dosage was correct. And I'm like, okay, first off, I have a little bit of a medical background. You know how hard it is to overdose on antihistamines, number one? And number two, I'm not a complete moron. Like, I actually give her stuff daily like she's supposed to.
Well, and also, let's not forget the idea, why do you want to harm your kid? I mean, is this, rocket science?
I don't know if that specific master is, stuck in the 1940s where...
A lot of people are.
Oh, yeah, and it sucks because as a dad, and most guys, once you become a dad, it's, okay, I'm going to raise and protect this life before I even think about protecting myself.
Sure.
No matter what the issue, no matter what the problem, no matter who the threat is, I'm going to stand up for this kid. No matter what. And it doesn't even have to physically or in reality be your kid. It could be a kid on the street that you see getting bullied or whatever. You're going to protect that kid. And to literally go through all this and try and fight, the stigma of, oh, moms always get custody, is like trying to, climb Mount Everest and you've never even hiked before. They try everything to just make it not happen. And I know you've said in previous podcasts, like, they try to keep the unity and, keep the peace a little bit, but it's like, you know how big the binder is.
I know.
Like, there's evidence upon evidence. There's, every example. And it's still, well, are you overdosing your daughter? Are you doing enough? Have you been there for her? Yes, I've been there since day one. I've paid for everything. I've done everything I can because I've been on night shift. And, I've done everything. And it's almost like it almost feels paralyzing, honestly.
Yeah, and I think so, as we've discussed and, so many of my clients discuss in the PA law is the 16 factors, right? And we've gone over them. I go over them with every custody client. And one of them is the availability of the parties, right? And you work night shift. You have for, I assume, several years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you hear that, right? And so, like, the judges, like, ears go up. Their hair on the back of their neck goes up. It's like, well, what are we going to do? Is the kid going to be alone at night? Right? Like, and like, that becomes such a primary focus. Like, I've seen this in your case and other cases, that it becomes such a primary focus. Well, your work schedule. Okay, that is relevant in the pizza pie, right? Your work schedule is maybe a slice, a half a slice, I'll give it. But what about the medical neglect of the child? Like, to me, objectively, wouldn't you think the medical neglect and the kids' grades and the soccer practice is more significant than you working night shift? I understand if your child was home alone and running the house rampant at 7 years old and there's no one to supervise her. Okay, then it's a different story. But, you're about to be married, you're engaged, right? You have that home. But let's say you weren't. You have a dad, a mom, a brother. Somebody's going to be – you're not just going to say, oh, you know what?
Yeah, have fun.
Have at it.
Put yourself to bed. You're fine.
I mean, and that's the whole problem with one of the problems with the court system is it's like tunnel vision for certain things, right? Like these flags, like there's other ones that I can name that it goes off and then they can't look at anything else. It's like dad works night shift.
Yep, we're stuck on that. That's it. Like, you're dead to rights.
Correct. And it's just like, okay, well, in your case, mom lives in a one-bedroom trailer with umpteen amount of kids. So is it dad has a house and a bedroom and everything's set, but he works night shift, but mom lives in a one-bedroom trailer, doesn't work, and I don't know what she does all day, and has kids running rampant? What?
Yeah.
Weigh it.
Yeah. And it's funny because the one court hearing, I believe you were actually there. She fought for my daughter to have her own room because we were sharing a room at that time just until we got everything figured out of what was going on. And she fought for her to have her own room. Well, lo and behold, it's never happened on her part. And it's like, okay, well, there's a double standard here. And it's like,
yeah, I remember this. I was there.
Yeah, I don't, it's not that I don't care. It's just I don't really want to pick the little battles. It's not like, I don't give a damn about, where she sleeps or, whatever. It's more of like you have to pick the right battles almost.
That's a lot of what I do.
Oh, yeah.
Right, like, because, you could imagine just people that call the office and my kid's sleeping on the floor. Okay, once a month, right? Are we going to go to court for once a month? Are you going to spend X dollars on me and the court time and the money off work and stress and lack of sleep and all the other things? I mean, my other thing is it worth it, right? Is that a hill you want to die on?
It's you have to pick the correct battles and then let everything else feed into what is happening, pretty much. It's very hard to keep yourself composed enough sometimes to do that, especially with certain situations. And I'm sure, you know, other people are going through the same thing. They just get so irate, and you know, you want to go for their throat. Take a step back, calm down, and think about this, because it may seem like the right choice because it's so upsetting to you, but it may not be the right time to do that. You know, it's a very fine line, especially for dads. Like, if you're just going back to court and back to court and back to court, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, and the court is reactive, not proactive.
Oh, it's horrible.
Right?
It is so horrible.
And in a case like yours, unfortunately, we had to let your daughter, this sounds horrible coming out of my mouth, but we had to let your daughter get so medically fucked up. Sorry, but that's the truth. We had to get your daughter so fucked up that you're calling me and sending me pictures of her, and we won't go into details of what that looks like, but
it wasn't pretty.
It wasn't nice, and then it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, we're gonna have to like take her to the hospital. Like, this is getting to the point of a concern, and the whole time, right, at the conferences and the hearings before trial, we're barking at the top of our lungs. Hey, we got a problem, we got a problem, we got a problem, but no one cares because it's not what if, it's let's fix.
Well, and even our master had said it. Did you take her to the doctor? When she came back from her mom's house and you saw this outbreak, did you take her to the doctor? No, because the hospital is eventually going to view her as what they call a frequent flyer, and they're just going to be like, oh, you're being, you know, over-exaggerated. Just take her home. It's fine. They're going to shove it off. Like, it's not, it doesn't make any sense, really. Like,
well, and in your case, you knew what, you had a diagnosis and you had the treatment. You just, mom wasn't doing it, right?
It was being done on one side, but not another. And if it was being done, I don't know if it was correctly or even consistently. But comparatively, night and day difference.
Well, I know. I've seen her. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So it's not like sometimes we get cases where like we don't know what's wrong with the child, right? Like especially like the ADHD, the ODD, that kind of. It's like, okay, act this way. We're not sure. Da 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 da. Right. So that's different in the sense that, you know, we've got to get a diagnosis. But your case, we knew what her medical diagnosis is. We knew the treatment. We have the medicine. You know, it's just. She's not doing it. And it's like we're screaming at the top of our lungs, like this is going to get to the point where someone's going to need to admit her, or CPS is going to get involved, or we're going to get to the point where the kid is not going to be able to get up for school or whatever. Or, you know, or even worse, could affect her permanently. I don't know, right? I'm not a medical doctor, but and we keep saying it and saying, I mean, I probably said it 150 times. I mean, literally. I mean, it's the only thing that came out of my mouth. And it's like, okay, well, too bad, right? It's not there yet. And it's like, that's one of our major failures. And I talk about this all the time, is we are reactive, not proactive. And this is why we have kids dying and medical kids that could have been saved by the system, or they could have been saved. Why did your daughter have to get to that level? Why?
Yep.
Why?
And I understand some people are going to say, you know, oh, I should have fought sooner. Yes, I should have. But at the time, I was still recovering and getting stuff squared away with the post-divorce stuff. So I didn't have the means, you know, immediately to start the whole process.
Yeah, but I honestly don't know that, like, yeah, starting it sooner, okay, maybe you would have went to trial sooner. Okay, fine. But it wouldn't have forced mom to give her the meds.
Yeah, no.
I mean, still doesn't do it. No. Right? Like,
and we had that stipulation where there had to be proof sent, and it was followed, and then right back.
And this is something, and this is not a you issue, but this is a world issue. I don't know what's going on. I know you follow me on TikTok and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on, but the past 6 months, but this ties into your case, what the fuck is going on with these crimes against kids? I mean, everywhere I turn. I mean, you turn on the newspaper, you turn on TikTok, you turn on the news, you turn on, it's kids and kids. Stop having them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it's actually funny you say that. Right after our divorce was finalized, and you know this, right after the divorce was finalized, she comes out and she's pregnant with another kid. So that's 3, and now that dad's not in the picture, and there's a whole mess. I don't know the details. I don't want to know the details.
Not your kid, not your problem.
Essentially, and every time I see the kid, which isn't very often, she seems happy. She's talkative, she's friendly, which is great. That's awesome. Why wasn't what seems to be that care given to our daughter?
Because you were there to save her.
And
that's the only other explanation, right? Because like lazy people and shithole people, I'm just going to call it as it is, they rely, if they know, like she knows that you're normal, for lack of a better term, and that you give a shit about your kid.
Well, she won't tell you that.
Saying, but she knows it,
yeah.
Right? She knows it. So it's like, well, why should I care? Right? Because dad's just going to pick up the pieces that I fall. And if dad for the other child is MIA, right, she has no choice but to pick up the piece. Or the child goes bye-bye. I mean, it's one or the other.
Yeah. And there's been, 5 or 6 or 7 CPS reports against her solely. And, again, I was working night shift. I'm still on night shift.
I know.
I love night shift. I can take my daughter to school. I can pick her up from school. I can, spend time with her during the summer as much as I can stay up and still function at work. But even when we were in that separated period and I didn't have custody of my daughter, I'd be told about certain doctor's appointments. I'd get my ass up and I'd go all the way down to Philly at CHOP or Allentown or wherever it was. I would do everything I could to be there just so I'm informed and so I'm there for her.
Well, sure.
And
I think about this in the big picture. It's like your daughter is young now. I mean, she's getting older, but she's younger. Right? She's not 5, but she's not 15.
She acts like she's 15.
Yeah, well.
She has the attitude.
And, these parents don't think, when she's 12 and she sees, she's going to wonder what is going on, right? This is not normal. I see this all the time where people always ask, where's my dad, right? You see, because majority of people have mom, right? So it's mom's here and I see my dad every other weekend, right? But in your case and others that I have, it's going to be, where's mom? And I think there's going to be some resentment. I would assume, I'm not a medical doctor again, but I would assume there's going to be some resentment. But the lucky thing is for your daughter, excuse me, is we have a sort of filler for that, right? And there's certain things, and I'm not bashing men by any chance, but there are certain things a man can't do,
yes.
Right? Yes. I'm sorry, but
any guy will agree with that.
When we get to hair, makeup, and women stuff, Derrick, I know you pretty well. I don't think you're putting on lipstick, right? You're not braiding hair. I mean, you do it if you had to.
I could try.
But
it wouldn't end well.
I think you might hand that over to Christy, right? Yeah. I think but your daughter is blessed in the sense that she does have, and a lot of people have grandma, sister, cousin, somebody to fill that mother void, right? But I maybe not call me old school, but I feel like, a lot of parents are separated and you need a mother figure and a father figure, whether that's your actual biological or you're not biological, whether that's your grandma, your sister, your uncle, your brother, your cousin, your best friend's mom, whoever it is. But I feel like as a young child, you need something because there's certain things that a dad can provide, such as, let's do the generic strength, protection, that type of stuff. And there's other things that Christy can provide that her biological mother's not providing, right? So of course, love and all of that, but you know, the hair, the nails, the that kind of stuff. And maybe she doesn't like that. Maybe she wants to play soccer. Okay, but I'm sure Christy's showing up to soccer, right? Like, there's certain things that I just feel like, and especially, you know, I don't want to get too far into the weeds, but when she gets a teenager and we get those hormones and you don't want to call dad and say, hey, dad, I need certain things, right? Like, I know me, I would call my mom 10 times out of 10 over my dad for that, right? But if you know, I need help lifting my dresser, I ain't even thinking about calling my mother, right? So, you know, there's certain things, and I think, you know, we hear all this stuff in courts, and I know you hear it from friends and stuff, but the step-parent thing, like, it's like people can't grasp their head around the idea that there can be four, I don't want to use the word parents, but four people that love a child, right? It does, to me, I always say, the more the better, right? The more love, the better, right? So your child's biological mother could maybe loves your daughter, right? Like, she could. And you could simultaneously love her just as much. Right? And people can't wrap their head around that two mother figures, or mother and mother figure, could love their daughter the same.
It's, you didn't birth her, you're not the mom. And it's like that, no, that is such a screwed mentality, because when they see a guy doing it to a kid that isn't his, it's, oh, you're a good guy. Well, why is it different for the female in that aspect, you know, when they're trying to teach them something, or, you know, kind of give them that nourishment that they're probably dying for, not literally, but figuratively dying for, you know, that they're not getting from their biological mom. Why would you kind of like shut that out? Like, wouldn't you want to boast that just like you would a man raising another kid? Like, the mindset of the whole parenting aspect and step parent and, you know, everything is so screwed. Like, looking back at it, like, I was a step parent when I was with my daughter's mother. She had a son before we got together. I was there from when he was, I think, like 5 or 6 months old. You know, cool kid, never had an issue with him. There was, you know, they had their issues. Everybody has issues. It's fine. It's life. You'll get through it and you'll figure it out. But people were like, oh, you know, you're doing great. You know, you're handling stuff, you know, the way you're supposed to. And there's other people like, well, he's not your son. You shouldn't do that. And it kind of throws you for a loop. It's like, well, am I doing the right thing or not? Like, I feel like I'm doing the right thing, but yet you hear mixed reviews.
Yeah, it's very sticky in the sense of like punishment and homework and doctors, and it's like, who is supposed to do this and how are we going to do this? And, you know, we have a lot of like two biological parents, and then they have remarried, right? So then we have step parents on both sides. And it's like, well, I get calls, well, stepmom, you know, ground her, or stepdad showed up to the doctors. It's like, guys, they all love your kid, right? Like, what are we doing? Why are we fighting for love? It's not like a child is going to say, well, because this mommy took me to the doctor, I don't love this mommy anymore. Like, this is not how this works.
No,
like,
a kid just sees love. Like, it's not about how much. It's, you know, I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and you all treat me good, and it makes me feel good. So I don't get why people would want to fight over that, or like belittle another parent even in that case. You know, like if the child's younger and, you know, say, just for an example, you know, my daughter calls Christy mom, and she goes back to her actual mom and says, oh, well, you know, mom said, and well, no, that's not your mom. It's like, I understand, but yet I don't. Like, kind of let it go. You know.
Yeah, and I get that you have one mom in the sense of biological mom, but we live in an age where biological mother and biological father means jack fucking shit.
Yes.
right? Because we have adoptive parents, we have step parents, we have half parents, we have no parents, we have aunts, uncles. The definition of mom and dad is what I say, who takes care of you, who loves you unconditionally, right? So that could be your grandmother. That could be your stepmom. That could be your brother. That could be your cousin. That could be your fucking foster family.
Yeah.
You know, it could be anybody. And that we get, dude, the amount of calls I get about he called him mom and he got it's like, dude, the kid, number one, has no fucking idea, right? They just see for example, see Christy as, hey, she brushed my hair. She took me to school. She painted my nails. She took me to the doctor. She fed me breakfast. Dad is, maybe dad's at night shift. I woke up and had a nightmare. I crawled into bed with Christy. Oh, she loves me. So I assume she doesn't know that she didn't come out of her vagina. Yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah. She's little. Right? Especially, I mean, your kid's a little older, but you get a 3-year-old or 4-year-old. They have no idea. Like, I had a girl on my first podcast episode, another client, Marissa Heckman, and they're independent.
I actually watched that last night.
Yeah, they're independency, right? And so biological mother, he calls mom with the slippers because she always wears slippers to the visits, and calls Marissa mom, right? That's just how he associates what mom he's seeing today, right? And no one told him to call mom with the slippers, but that's just the way it is. So
that's how they perceive it, and you can't fault them for that.
That's my whole thing. Is like, what? And then you get yelled at, right? The kid gets yelled at. It's like, and it's like, why are we doing this? Like, I just, when parents divorce and they separate or they never were married and they break up or whatever, it's not the kid's fault.
No,
and
not at all.
And it happens. I mean, look at our divorce rate in the country; it's astronomical. But it's not the kid's fault. And most parents, well, not in my office, but most parents care about their kids, right? The general consensus, I think, is that most parents care about the kids. It's either you give a lot about your kid, like you're a diehard parent, or you unalive them. Like, I'm not seeing any middle ground lately.
Yeah, no.
Like, you can't really half-ass parenting, I feel like.
No, it's either you're all in
or you're all out.
Yeah, or you're all out.
Yeah.
And like my personal view on that is you helped create that life.
Yep.
If you're not going to be responsible for it, you should probably just
say bye-bye.
See yourself out. Like,
well, that's you can't, and I'm a little torn in the sense that, like, I get people have some fuck-ups, right? Especially addiction or mental health, and maybe you have a hard time, right? But when you do that, you say, I mean, this would be me, right? I'm giving an example. If I had a mental health episode and I had to be 302'd, God save us, hope I'd never do that.
That'd be a bad day.
Right, I would say to my husband or to my mother or to my grandmother, listen, you got to handle it. I'm out. Count me out. Don't call me. I don't want my child to see me like this. I need you to take over. And then whether that's a gradual comeback into my kid's life or, hey, listen, I fucked up so bad, I got to wait till they're 18. I don't know, right? But the Constitution and our courts can let you literally, I mean, I had a case where a sex offender of a minor, of his own child, is seeing a sibling of that child. Because the constitutional parental rights say that unless your rights are terminated, which, as you know.
They should be, automatically. With something like that, they should be terminated.
Like, what are we doing? Like, I understand that there's a right to be a parent and no one should be able to take that from you. But you can't just call yourself a parent. There's way more to that than, it's not just, I'm a parent today.
Yeah.
I'm a parent every fucking minute of my life, right? Like, if somebody called me right now and said, hey, your kid has an emergency, the headphones are coming off and we're out the door. Same with you. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, it's not... it's not convenient, I guess is the word.
The system in it of itself, and I see this in not only the court system, just in generalized aspects of everyday life is very outdated. Very outdated. You know, what it would take to do a revamp of everything would, yes, be costly. Yes, probably still wouldn't be perfect. There's nothing perfect in this world. But what we're dealing with now is absolute garbage.
It's a crisis.
Oh, yeah.
It's I mean, it's so bad. Like we just said 10 minutes ago. I mean, kids are just dropping like flies, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and if you don't have a protective parent or parent figure, your kid's done, dude.
Yeah, you're screwed. Like, from the get. And the state system for kids is so overwhelmed.
Garbage.
Like, and well, it's trash, number one, and it's overwhelmed. It's underfunded.
Oh, for sure.
You know.
And I see the problem with also the state system is, right, like, it's like we'll have CPS investigate for something so fucking stupid. It's like there's a bruise on the kid from falling at the playground, and mom's saying, "Oh, dad beat." And I get it. You got to go out and look at it, right? But we're not going to spend 25 hours on that case, right? But we have a kid that's starving at 58 pounds at 15 years old, and we'll spend an hour on that one. What the?
Yep.
There's too much discretion. It's just like willy-nilly, fly off the seat of my fucking pants. And I don't know if it's because, like you said, it's overwhelmed or it's underworked or it's understaffed or it's underpaid or all of it. But it's just like, and the other problem I have with children and youth, and I know your case isn't really too much about children and youth, but they can unilaterally just do whatever the fuck they want, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if we show up with Brielle you show up to Brielle at the hospital and she has a bruise on her knee from falling off the monkey bar today at school, and they think it's child abuse, right? They're just going to say, okay, you leave now, she's mine. And it's like, well, where's the judge? Like, they have this unilateral power. And again, they eventually have to get the judge to sign it, but for 3 days, we can just, yeah, sure, Brielle could live in the fucking hospital. What?
Yeah. There's not enough checks and balances in certain aspects.
And there's too many in the other.
Yeah, there's too many in the other.
Yeah.
And again, you'll never have a perfect system.
No.
Never. But we need to do something better because, honestly, it is outrageous to see some of my very close friends go through some of the stuff, and you know the case, and the child is back with the mom, and that shouldn't be acceptable. Automatically.
Particularly in that case, it's almost so bad. I can't even say it, right? Like it's so insane, and it's just.
It's dumbfounding.
Yeah, it's like I said. Do we have to wait till the kid's killed? I hate to say that, but do we have to wait until she's, brain dead or 15 broken arms this time? Right? Like, when is enough enough?
And people, not just the court system or anything, in the world today, you see how much about mental crisis. So you're going to re-expose that child to another possible event where they could see mom or dad or, their guardian or whatever knocked out or dead on the floor from an OD or, because they had it so hard this week and they just couldn't handle it. Okay, everyone understands that there's addiction issues. Everyone understands that there's mental health issues. Why are you going to make it worse by re-exposing that child? Why would you keep feeding that? Like, that doesn't make any sense to anyone ever. I understand the whole unity thing. I get it. I support that. A family should be able to come together, mom, dad, step-parent, on both sides. We should all be able to sit down and have dinner, and be civil. It doesn't happen all the time.
It never happens. I mean, that's
Rarely.
rare. I mean, you're talking 5% of my cases. Can we have people in the same room around this table? I mean,
oh yeah,
because it's so much of I hate you and the divorce and the money and the you took the kid to the doctor and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, in 5 years, does any of this fucking matter? But your kid won't forget it. I could tell you that. The kid won't forget it, right? Because you know how many kids I think about that are going to need a lifelong therapy because their parents are at each other's throats over what color shoes they wear for school fucking picture day?
Oh yeah.
Like, who gives a fuck?
Or that even they'll be in therapy because, the system said, oh, mom went through, 30-day rehab, or dad went through 30-day rehab. We're going to, reintroduce them. We're going to let them have time back. A 30-day program. No. They didn't even prove sobriety yet. Like, depending on what they were doing.
Yeah.
It's not even out of their system.
Yep.
Like, what are we doing? Why are we rushing this?
And then you hear 3 months from now, the kid's dead.
The kid's dead, or, the mom OD'd again, or the dad OD'd again, or, the dad got arrested for drunk driving with the kid in the car, or wrecked the car, or vice versa, whatever. It's such a rushed system to try and get that kid to both parents. And then we wonder why we have mental health crisis and addiction crisis and all this, because you're exposing them to all this, and it's not beneficial to the kid being exposed to that. And also they need a way to just vent.
Yeah.
And they're going to lead to either seeing what mom or dad did, which is drinking, drugs, and we have enough of that in the school systems and on the streets, and whoever their friends are in the area you live in plays a huge part. But it's sickening that the courts aren't, and the system in general isn't trying to prevent this even a little bit.
No, and it's just like, oh, you birthed them. Here you go.
Yeah, like, here, you can have them back. Hold on.
Yep.
Like, this is not right at all. Like, and I don't know how they sit there and rightfully in their head go, yeah, this is fine. Like, it's perfect. I don't give a damn about your money. I'm
That's
sorry.
a lot of it.
I'm sorry. That money is not going to bring back that mom's life or that dad's life or that child's life.
But that's a lot of reason why they sit there, right?
That's
because
bullshit.
It's all about, right? So if you have an attorney, you're advised that child support is based off overnight custody, right? It doesn't, daytime hours don't matter. It's where the child lays their head at night, which again, I don't disagree with. Another failure that I could go on a rampage about.
Oh, yeah.
But it's where the child lays their head at night, right? So that's why people are constantly fighting over that one day or that one weekend or that one, because it's all about this. Who's going to pay this, right? And that's another fucking fuck up, excuse my language, of the system because, right, you have primary custody and mom has partial. But if mom makes less than you, she's still going to pay you because you have primary. Now, if you had 50-50, you may end up paying her.
Oh, absolutely, I would.
Right? So
absolutely, I would.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's based off income and custody. But it gets fucked up because sometimes the income and the custody don't match.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually have a friend who has 3 kids. He has perfect 50-50 custody. And he's paying an astronomical amount.
Sure. And
I'm like, why? It's split 50-50. There's no loss or gain. And he's single. He's not married. He's not dating anybody. She's engaged or something like that. They, what? Hold on.
Yep.
Like, let's keep it fair here. Let's keep it real. And for some reason, the system doesn't want to do that.
No, and people always call it, oh, I have 50-50, so I won't have to pay. You wrong, buddy. You way wrong. If your incomes are equal or you're less, okay, but other than that.
Oh, yeah. And going back to when me and my daughter's mom got together, after she had Brielle, it was, you can stay home and take care of the kids because her son wasn't in school yet. Brielle was a newborn. It was a lot.
Sure.
And it was costly for daycare, and I was like, you know what? stay home. It's fine. You know, I'll go to work, do what I have to do to get it done. And that's what I did. You know, I worked my ass off. And then that led into the job that I currently have. When we went through the divorce and she took me for child support, that was the biggest eye-opener ever. Because she walked in there with a piece of paper it was like a promissory note of, we're going to pay you $15 an hour for this many hours at a part-time job. And they're like, oh, yeah, this is good. And I got screwed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, mega screwed. And I'm paying for my daughter's medications out of pocket.
Which I'm sure are a lot of money.
$1,000 every 2 months.
Okay.
It hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, how am I going to make this work?
How are you going to feed yourself?
Yeah, how am I going to do anything?
Yeah.
Like, you know, they don't really take that into consideration. And, you know, as we went down and, you know, I got 50-50 custody, then I got primary, it became easier. And it's not out of the aspect of child support or anything like that. It's just your mental state becomes calmer. It becomes more sturdy. Like, I got this. I can do this. And I have to really, really thank Christy, because she helped me a lot through a lot of the mental exhaustion of just going through everything. And she would put a lot of the stuff together for you and, you know, just records and everything, because I am not good at filing. I'm not good with technology. Like, you're sending me DocuSign stuff. I'm like, here, I don't know what to do. Like, and then she's like,
it's a lot, right? Because, like, when we present a case, you know, you were a client, or whatever word you want to use.
Still am.
When I ask you for, you know, 100 fucking documents, it's overwhelming, and it's it's. I'm assuming, I haven't had to do it to myself, but it's triggering as fuck, I'm guessing, because you're like, hey, I need all the pictures of your daughter fucked up from her meds or whatever, and I'm like, and you're like sending me, you know, and I mean, I'm looking through it to prepare for a case. I'm like, this sucks. I can't imagine. I mean, hours and hours go into.
And the worst part with our case was how bad it was. We went to CVS and printed them out. The looks we got when we picked them up, because they saw the pictures, are like, what the fuck are you doing to this kid?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? And we're like, it's fine. Just give me that. I need this. Like, this is much needed. Thank you. Have a good day. Like, you know, it's a lot. And again, I can't thank her enough, and I can't thank you enough. But, like, it was a struggle. You know.
That's what us girls are good at.
Oh, yeah.
Organizing shit.
And fighting. You're really good at fighting.
I'm really good at fighting. Yeah.
Oh, every woman is. I don't care.
My poor husband, he gets a woman and a lawyer. Yeah.
I hope you two never split. He's screwed.
Yeah.
But no, it's honestly, it feels like there's a huge weight off of your shoulders, especially being a male that can get custody. And I have friends that come to me and they're like, hey, what should I do? I'm like, here's Allie's number. Like, just give her a call, see what she says. You know, in my eyes, fight. Do it. Put yourself through that mental and physical hell and fight for your kid. And a lot of the guys I know absolutely would. It's just the stigma puts such a, like, damper on you. It's like, well, I can't. You know, what am I supposed to do? I'm a male. No one's going to listen to me. No one's going to, you know, give me custody of a kid. And that's not it. You have to really want it. You got to dig in and fucking want it.
And I think you got to, the hardest part for male or female, but is be patient, right? Like, people want instant, right? Like, it's like, oh, you filed the complaint and we went to the conference. How many fucking hearings did we go to before we end up with a final order giving you primary? But That's the problem. It's like I have to. I cannot. I'm not the judge. I'm not the scheduling coordinator at the courthouse. I cannot. I would have liked to walk in and got you primary and walk the fuck out, but it ain't that easy, dude.
Nope.
It ain't.
Snap your fingers and hand it
It
right
ain't
over.
that easy, right? It took. I don't know how long it took. You would know better than me. Almost
11 months.
Yeah, almost a year to get. And unfortunately, your kid has suffered for fucking 11 months and got worse and worse and worse. But luckily, it paid off in the sense that now we never have to do that again. But
Hopefully.
don't.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is, it took that long, and we pushed. I mean, there wasn't a day we weren't screaming in there, but. That's also the thing is you have to weather the storm. It's not an instant storm. It's a long storm that people do not seem to understand takes a while. And that's a really hard part of my job. It's like trying to get people, hey, you got to keep your head above water. I need you to hang on for a few more months. You got to hang on for a few more months. You have a great case. Hang on for a few more months. And they are like, but I want to give up. And I get that. If I was them, I'd want to give up too.
Oh,
but you can't. You got to. And I always tell them like, hey, you got to find something to take your mind. Go boxing, go on a walk, go fish, go do something. Do something that you have to decompress because otherwise, you're just chomping at the bit. And I can't do anything to make the bit go forward.
Yep. And, again, coming from someone that's been through it, you're worried about the financials. You're like, well,
Sure.
Shit.
I ain't cheap.
Oh, hell no, you ain't. Your husband must make a bunch of money. But no. You're worried about the financials. You're worried about the outcome. You're worried about, your PTO time at work.
Yeah.
Am I going to have the day off for this? Is it going to get approved? Am I going to have to take a hit and pay? How the hell am I going to pay this then? And, I have to get X, Y, Z done in that time. It is a lot.
And they move court dates all the time.
Oh, my God.
Right? How many times have we calling you 2 days before? Hey, get back to work. They moved it. You know what I mean?
And it's an absolute nightmare of a scenario between the mediations and, the meetings.
Are you hearing other people?
Yeah.
Okay.
But between everything is just... It's excruciating.
It's hell.
It's excruciating.
It's overwhelming.
I'd say...
I mean, how many nights, Christy, did you and Derrick lay in the bed or on the couch or wherever the fuck you guys relax and talk about this every fucking night? While you were going through it, I'm guessing, right?
Especially during trial.
Right, every night, right?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
talking about it. I'm sure. I only know because I do it every day, all day long. But I can imagine myself when I'm all worked up about the dogs at the vet or my kid's sick or whatever. Nothing compared to a trial. But I sit this all. I obsess, right? There's all me and my husband talk about for 8 hours every night, right? What if this happens? What if this happens? What are we gonna do about this? Who's gonna pay for this? Right? And so I can only imagine the two of you sitting on the couch or in the bed or working or on the phone. That's all you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot for me, too.
Well,
I was thinking
yeah.
big picture because I'm preparing all of that, but it's that's all I couldn't get it out of my head. I kept thinking this scenario versus this scenario. And he's like, just gotta wait. But I was trying to think big picture so I can protect him and her and keep it all leveled.
Well, yeah, and you're coming from a different perspective, right? Because you're marrying or marry whatever. You're going to marry the dad, right? We call him dad for court purposes. You're going to marry dad, and you of course love Brielle, right? So now it's like you feel like, well, I've got to protect my future husband. I've got to protect this little girl that I consider my daughter that I love very much, right? And I don't even want to know what you think about mom, right? So it's like, it's like, and I've got to be mom, sort of, right? I've got to stay strong for this little girl because I'm her mother figure. And then I need to also be a wife and take care of the house and do all those other things and then go to work and then also support my husband, right? So it's a lot for a step parent. And also there's some sort of, and you could speak on this too, but did you find it difficult to I don't want to use to have boundaries with Brielle because you're not her mother, or did that sort of come naturally, or did you guys have to? And again, I don't want to get into your marriage discussions, but did you have to like say, "Hey, am I supposed to punish her?" Like, I get a lot of that.
We still have those conversations.
Yeah.
For a lot, I was like, hey, this is going on. Like, what can I do or what shouldn't I do? And for a while, I just let him handle it because I try to stay in the back so it doesn't, look bad on me. But then with the scenario, come back on him and be backlash or used against him. So then it got to the point of he's like, you're the parent, you're the adult there, handle the situation. But since there's still so much going on in so many aspects, I still question my, should I discipline her? It's all, okay, well, clean up, sit in timeout, be done with it. But there's certain things I'm like,
yeah,
I don't want, she can think whatever with me and how I do it, but I don't want to come back and look bad on him and then somehow be twisted and turned and used again. So you got to find the right level for it.
Yeah, and like also like for example, if she's acting out and Derrick's at work, right? It's like, okay, well, mom's MIA, dad's at work, doing work shit, and she's acting up. It's like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do, right? Like I see that a lot, and or like I see, for example, if she was a male, let's say Brielle was a male, right, and she's 9, 10 years old. It's like, okay, but he needs to get a shower. It's like, your stepmom. Am I supposed to undress him and put him in where is the line, right? It's like, because I'm not mom. So we get a lot of that. It's like, what's appropriate or not appropriate? You're fortunate in the stuff that you're saying, in the sense that you're the same sex. So her getting undressed in front of you is not tragic, right? But if it was a male, it may be tragic.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like, what am I doing here?
Grab
right?
the hose from the backyard, I guess. No, I'm totally kidding.
So it's like that's a lot of what we see for step parents, and also it's like if Brielle was a boy, right, and he had a bunch of baseball kids over, and Derrick, hey, I gotta run, I gotta go to work. It's like, okay, now I have like 20 10-year-olds in my house. What the fuck am I supposed to do here, right? Like, so a lot of that comes to my office frequently, and but. Do you find that Brielle respects you? And does she view you? I mean, I've never met her. I actually don't think. But have you? Did I meet her?
Mm-mm.
No,
Not
she
yet.
never didn't come to trial.
Yeah.
Did she? Do you like? Does she call you mom?
Yeah. So for longest time, she would call me Christy.
Or
Okay,
bestie.
fine. Yeah, Bessie. That's where it all started. But then one day she goes, "Can I call you mom?" Just out of the blue, he was at work. She had just gotten done a bath. We're doing all of her stuff. And I looked her dead in the eye and I was like, you call me whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you yay, nay.
Which is the right answer.
Because
that's
if
the
I
best answer you
said,
can give.
no, you have to call me this, like, you have to call me mom or stepmom or whatever, it's some form would be twisted around. For the longest time, she would call me mom. But then ironically, on Mother's Day, I picked her up from her time with her mom at grandmom's. Remember, she's getting in the car. She looked at her mom and goes, Mom, your mom and Christy's mom. And she shot her down, got so upset with her. And she goes, no, I'm your mom. I just remember she slammed the door. She looked at me. She goes, can we go home now? And ever since that, she will not call me that. And then there's times that we're out in public and like, oh, you and your mom, blah, blah, blah. She goes, no, she's my stepmommy. But she gets all perky about it. She doesn't say it to correct them. She's, like, hosting is a proud thing to say. And she'll brag about it, that I'm her stepmom.
Like, because she loves you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It's and I think, it's very hard I would imagine, for Brielle to make that distinction, especially when bio mom is
feeding
it, right? But, as she gets older, right, soon bio mom is going to well, go fuck yourself, right? Because, and I hate to say that. I don't wish that upon anyone.
It's unfortunate, but
it's going to come.
Yeah.
It's going to come. I've seen it time and time again. As soon as she realizes, like, she's old enough, which she's probably starting to turn that corner, she realizes, wait a minute, the math ain't math in here, right? She may always call you Christy, but she may refer to you as mom, right? In like a conversation with her girlfriend, right? So I see that a lot too, where, you know, to your face it's one thing, but to someone else it's another. But like she spends way more time with you than by a mom. I mean, you guys, I know you pretty well. I'm sure your dinner, bath, bedtime, nails, school, homework, hair, dance, soccer, farm, all the things, right? So, you know, she'll figure it out. But you are the real hero in the sense that you're not forcing her to separate the two and not telling her what to do. And that's really that's a correct, and again, I'm not a psychiatrist, but that's a correct answer, right? For me, like people ask my advice, I say, listen, just let it, arm's length. The pieces will fall the correct way when the child, wakes up or gets old enough to realize that that's a way, because eventually she's going to wonder, and she may even ask, Derrick, what is going on here, right? Like, you know, and she might be talking about her friends at school, right? Because a lot of the times we see this, and I don't know if this has happened to you, but she'll come home from school and say, well, you know, my friend Emily said her mommy and daddy don't live at the same house. It's kind of like my mommy and daddy. Why don't my mommy and daddy live at the same house? Or Joe said that his mommy and daddy live at the same house. Why don't you, you know, and then you're going to have that conversation, which
we already have.
Yeah.
She asked me, you know, well, my friend's parents don't live together, you know, so why don't you and mom live together anymore? Mm-hmm. And it's, well, we just didn't get along, so we decided to go our separate ways, and that's just the way it is. You know, that's the way life took us. It is what it is. You know, and that's the best way I could explain it.
Well,
you know.
yeah, and she's not gonna. I mean, what are you gonna say?
She's too young to understand.
We have marital problems. Like, she's not gonna know.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, you know, you're getting married, right? So like, Christy's not going anywhere, for lack of a better term.
You know. Well, unless you want to. That's fine.
But what I'm saying is, will only remember a small portion of her life without Christy, probably, because, you know, you don't really remember much before 5. So, and how old is she now?
She'll be 8 in December.
8. So, I mean, and you've been around for...
She was about 4.5. 5,
that's what I'm saying. She might not even remember much of her life before that. Yeah. She's just going to know that she has 2 moms for now.
Yeah. And which that's fine.
Yeah.
That there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And
she might eventually have 2 dads. We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
and
more the better.
To her if she does.
Yeah.
Like,
the more the better, and just keep it.
Yeah. But anyway, that'll wrap it. Anything else either of you want to say?
No, just don't believe the stigma, honestly.
No.
Like, if you think you have a case and you think you can fight and you want your kid bad enough, do it.
Yeah.
Just say.
And get a good lawyer.
That one right there.
Yeah.
She's worth every penny.
Even like, yeah, and even the outside for me, it's you hear the ups and downs being the step parent.
Yeah.
The backlash. It's not your kid, but
and it's not. And I hate the word step. Like, it's not a.
I always call it bonus mom.
Bonus mom. Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds so much better.
And that's what our officiant said, is like, can I use you guys as bonus mom? I'm like, yeah. Because everyone's like, I have people say, it's not your kid. Why do you love them like that or treat them like that? Or why do you do this for them? I'm like, they're in my care. It's my spouse's kid. I'm treating them as my own. So, of course, I'm like, yes, there are certain things that I will not touch in topics or conversations, but it doesn't matter if I birth them or not. She is my kid. I'm like,
sure.
So I will treat her as if she was my own.
But that's my whole thing. It's like, if Brielle walked in here and you two walked out, I would treat her as my own kid. Hey, you want a popcorn? You want a soda? Come with me. Hold her hand. Take her to the bathroom. Like, I don't know her like that, but I'm not gonna just well, go fuck yourself,
yeah,
right?
Get out
Like,
of here.
any kid, like, just like if my kid walked in here, I would and walked up to you, I would assume you'd pick her up and give her a hug. Like,
we'd have a blast.
That's what I mean. Like, that's the difference. Is like any kid, like, I would treat as my own. Like, just because I didn't birthed them, of course I love my kid the most, and I would, do anything for her. But any kid that, I mean, I have kids walking in my office constantly, here, you want candy, this, take them to the bathroom. I mean, my staff has had to babysit kids while I have to talk to a client because I don't want the kid hearing, certain things. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. So I don't understand even more when it comes out of your vagina or you helped create it, how we can just let it go. I mean, that'd help any kid. I know you guys would too. I know you very well. It's just, I don't know.
It's mind-boggling in a lot of it. Because I've gotten it's not your kid. It's not
Who
your
gives
problem.
a fuck?
Yeah. Yes, she is mine, so I will take
And it also
accountability and
is
stuff.
your problem in the sense that you live in a house with her and you're married to her father. So it is your problem. And you care about her.
Yeah. So it's not that when I've gotten that one before, and ironically, it killed me. Like, I wanted to, like, go after him. Like, who cares? They're like, it's their responsibility, not yours. Like, meaning his. I'm like, the hell it is.
I mean, which is true in an aspect that, my kid is my responsibility, but you're joining into it and taking part of that responsibility as well. So it's not just, oh, well, that's their responsibility. No, that's...
Well, you're about to be a one unit. So when you marry Derrick, you marry Brielle. That's how I see it.
Yep.
So, you and again, I'm big on marriage, but when you I do divorce law. It makes no sense. When you marry someone, you take all of it, right? Whether that's a kid, a dog, a house, a debt, a finance, a water bottle, a freaking headphone, right? You take it all. So, and not that you wouldn't take Brielle, but I'm saying you love her, you care about her, and she's part of Derrick. It's not like when you met Derrick, she didn't exist, right? Like, you knew about her.
Yeah, I told her, I was like, listen, I just got out of a divorce.
Yeah.
Like, I have a daughter. This is the whole thing going on. We're not in the best spot right now. Are you okay with that? She said, yeah, it's fine.
We hit it off when the two of us met up. It's been glued to the hip and bestie. That's still does it, and then help push him along with it all. Like,
yeah, I mean, her and Brielle are practically inseparable.
Yeah.
Glued to the hip on a lot.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, it's great because, like I said, there's certain things, no shame, but you ain't calling dad for a tampon. Like, sorry.
No.
Nope.
Like, I'm sorry.
I mean, now, there are certain guys out there that would make so much fun out of it.
I agree.
Like, they'd advertise it just for fun. They'd be skipping through the store. Like, I have friends that will absolutely do that. I might as well. Maybe. We'll see. But there are people that take that in stride. Most guys see it as, being girly or whatever. Dude, whatever. Just, it's your kid. Go. Like,
yeah, I mean,
like, would you do it for your wife or your girlfriend or whatever?
You would.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But in the sense that for Brielle, right, like, I think because she has such a good relationship with Christy, it's like, well, I'm going to call Christy for this one.
Oh, yeah. It's not, I'll call dad. It's, I'll call Christy. And then Christy will call me, hey, would you be able to pick this up?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm grabbing chocolates, I'm grabbing this, I'm grabbing, like, you kind of know what to do a little bit. You've been around women long enough, so just do it. Like,
yeah, I don't, some ego, babe. It's ego.
Oh, yeah. And it's hard to, like, kind of make it make sense to some people. Like, fuck your ego.
It's your kid.
Fuck your thought process. Yeah. That is 50% you. Do what you need to take care of it. Make it happy. Make it feel loved. And just give that kid the best life. Maybe you had a great life. Give that kid a better life. Maybe you had a shitty life. Do better with your kid.
Yep.
Simple as that. I don't care if you're a guy, if you're a girl, if whatever. I don't give a damn. Do better. If there's somewhere in your childhood or, whatever that you lacked, maybe it was school, maybe, you didn't get to play sports because your parents didn't have the money or whatever, do it. Here's your chance. Let your kid live that life. if you're in a situation like, you have to co-parent, come to a realization, come to an agreement that let's not deprive this kid of being a coachable kid.
And let's not fight over what they're wearing to fucking school pictures because it doesn't matter.
Or, oh, well, I don't want him in that. Or, I don't want them playing that sport. Or, if it can be agreed upon and the kid really wants to do it, you both have to sit down with the kid and be like, hey, if we're going to do this, you're in it for the whole thing. It's not we're going to change our minds, because that doesn't teach them anything. You wanted to do it, you're in it. This is it. But, we have to get away from the whole, well, I'm just going to say no to, out of spite. Don't do that.
Like, don't parent when you just want to parent, too.
Yeah, it's not
feasible.
a clock in, clock out.
Oh, I love the Facebook parents, though.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Oh, it's phenomenal.
The clock in, clock out, I call them. I wish, right? Like, not really, but. Thursdays, I'm like, oh my fucking God, I got to go home and deal with this girl. But you know what? But it's like, I see her face when I walk through the door, and it's like, okay, I'll do it 500 times again. I'll keep doing it. Like, she runs up to me and gives me a hug, mama, because she's only one. Oh, yeah. And it's just like, and the same for you, right? When you leave for work and she gives you a big hug and kiss, see you tomorrow morning or before school or whatever, you carry that with you. And it's just like, I can't wrap my head around this idea of just forget. Like the experience of giving birth and then like holding her and caring about her and feeding her and diapers and bath and bed and doctor and all that.
And just watching her grow.
It's just like I'll never unsee it. Not that I ever want to, but it's just like, how can you just show up or not show up? It's like, I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, like, you'll be dog tired from work or, just home stuff. Maybe you're working out in the yard or redoing the house, whatever. You're dog tired. That kid, peeks around the corner playing peekaboo with you. You're like, Like, you get a little burst of energy. You're like, all right, like, let's play.
Game on.
It's one of those, like, it is stress, but it's a good stress. And you're going to look back on it and be like, that wasn't so bad, and I kind of miss it.
Seeing their smile at the end of the day, like, days like that when you're sick or overly tired, and just seeing their smile, seeing you, or you just said something the wrong way and makes them laugh, just seeing that is what makes it all worth it.